All right. Just going to start us in prayer here.
Yeah.
Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you that we can all gather here today. Lord, I'm so thankful that we made it safely and that it's nice and warm in this building and that we have light and power. Father, I ask that your words come through today and not my own. I ask that my pride is stopped at the door and all of my know-how, and that your word comes through. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All righty. So today we are going to be in Proverbs. Today I really hope is the 25th because that's what I studied for.
No, today's the 24th. I'm sorry.
The 24th? Oh, well, you guys are getting the 25th.
Yeah, it's the 25th.
All right. So one thing I noticed right away was 25:1. It says there also are Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, the king of Judah, copied. Does anybody know who Hezekiah was? So when Israel and Judah split, the north from the south, Hezekiah was one of the kings, one of the 8 kings that was deemed to do good in the eyes of God. So what he did actually was, you have to start with his father. His father was Ahaz, and his father Ahaz actually nailed the temple shut. He nailed the door shut. So when it says he copied him, Hezekiah, when he opened the door of the temple, not only did he restore and show, the Torah and the Word of God, but he actually sent it out and wanted other people to see it. And he was honored by God doing that. So these are the words of King Solomon that he passed on. It is the glory of God to conceal a matter, but the glory of kings is to search out a matter. We're amazed by the things that we can see now. And I can only imagine, the things that God has concealed from us, how amazing that really can be. And it just baffles me because I can see, all of the blessings in my own life and all of the different things, but the things that God conceals, it really is amazing. And as the heavens for height and the earth for depths, so the heart of kings is unsearchable. Take away the dross from the silver, and it will go to the silversmith for jewelry. Take away the wicked from the king, from before the king, and his throne will be established in righteousness. Do not exalt yourself in the presence of a king, and do not stand in the place of great. For it is better that he say to you, "Come up here," that you should be put in a lower in the presence of the prince, whom your eyes have seen. See, it's the glory of great men and women to search out what God conceals and what he conceals in our life. And that's one thing that it's truly important that we spend time in our private time with Jesus, that we seek after those matters, because this isn't saying that it's impossible to find these things, to obtain it. But God's showing that with some effort, if we truly seek the Lord, God likes a chase. He likes us to desire what his knowledge is. And a lot of days I can just see myself reading through this book and just take it however I feel. But when we really seek, we really see what the context is, that who the author's speaking to, we can apply it to our lives a lot better.
One of the things that stand out to me in the first part of this is,
Yeah.
to the glory of God, to conceal a matter, Because if he told us everything, hey,
That's it.
next Tuesday, this is gonna happen, and the day after that, this is, we would not have to live in that expectation, and we'd say, hey, well, I got till Monday night to get things right.
Yeah. There'd be no
Because Tuesday,
need.
something's gonna happen.
That's
And so,
it.
and concealing the matter to us leads us better into faith.
Yeah.
One of the other things that, I just kind of come across and didn't really realize is that one of the reasons in the scripture that we were, said that Jesus was coming back and everything else, but it wasn't directly that said it was, and that was kept that way so that Satan didn't know that he was, by killing him, he would be the Lamb of the world.
That's very
And
true.
otherwise, he would have killed him.
No, King
Or
Herod.
that part of it.
Yeah, if it wasn't concealed, King Herod would have done his work, and he killed tens of thousands. I don't know what the number is, but a lot of first and second borns looking for Jesus. So we can see just right there what God conceals, and
In Bethlehem and Nazareth, where the child was,
yeah,
there couldn't have been more than 100 toddlers.
Yeah.
It's a small town.
Such a
So
small-
he didn't kill thousands of babies.
no,
I don't think so.
I'm not
I'm
entirely
just
sure.
thinking it's a little town. And
Yeah.
you go to kill all of everybody 2 years and younger.
Yeah,
That's a pretty small school.
it's a pretty small. Yeah,
Question was it wasn't at the time of his birth, or it's more like 2 years later, so he had time to move away, so maybe he had to cover a larger area to get him.
I'm not sure. All I know is it didn't work, and God concealed the matter, and Jesus was born, and he died on the cross for us, and God's plan went to victory. I really like right here about taking the dross away from the silver. It will go to the silversmith for jewelry.
Cause it's refined.
What?
Cause it's refined.
Yeah, that's it.
More pure.
A lot of the times we look at ourselves and we don't see what God sees. And God doesn't just see us now in the present, He sees us in the past and He sees us in the future. He sees where He's dwelling us. And
Take
we,
away my evil and there's not much left.
oh, let's see here. So we can see through verses 3 through 7, this is really speaking to the people of the time about how to approach a king, is what this proverb's showing us. But we can apply it to our own lives, and we can learn that self-exaltation, I think that's the right word, self-exaltation from this message. When we humble ourselves before God, we start to humble ourselves before others, before other people. You can't humble yourself in front of God and not be humble to all of your neighbors and your friends. And it's better for, it is better for someone else to give you praise than to walk around and exalt yourself. I could go around and say how great I am, but y'all wouldn't think the same thing. You think you got a big head,
We've been chucking up pizza.
Yeah, you're chucking up
There's
pizza.
another scripture that says when you go to a banquet, don't run up there and sit by the lead table.
Yeah.
And they will ask you to move back and embarrass you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you sit in the back and they bring you up front, then you're exalted.
It might have been a joke or a meme or something, but I saw one time at the Oscars or the Grammys or whatever that is where they get the little award that they told Jim Carrey to sit out in the back, and then he couldn't be in here, and he's like, I made a movie and we won an Oscar. You might have heard of it, Sonic, and they kicked him out. I think it was part of a skit, but that's kind of what it reminded me of. It was pretty good. So let's see. Number 8 through 10. Do not go hastily to court, for what will you do in the end when your neighbor has put you to shame? Debate your case with your neighbor and do not disclose the secret to another, lest he who hears it expose your shame and your reputation be ruined. That seems pretty simple to me, that there's a lot of things that we're so hasty to go to. This is showing court, but even court in our own hearts where people are guilty, but it's a lot easier before that hostility starts in your own heart just to go and talk to your neighbor and go and have a discussion with them. And a lot of things can be resolved by that. I'm not saying that every time we shouldn't go to court. I'm going to court right now because sometimes there's just nothing you can say, there's nothing you can do, but we really need to check our own hearts and talk to our neighbors and not let these issues get so stumbling down the hill, roll the ball rolling, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Yep. When we have disputes, yep.
I think it's important that we don't gossip about it either.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it says court in here, but we're fast to gossip, and we're fast to ruin reputations over things that we might not even understand. It could just be something the way we feel. And I say, hey,
That's all worth.
yeah,
Don't open yourself up for gossip.
don't open yourself. Yeah, the very next words is not to let yourself up for gossip.
It reminds me of love covers a multitude of sin.
Yeah.
My sister used to, will put people off if they come to her asking her questions about a situation she knows about. She will tell them, well, I don't have permission to talk about that.
Yeah.
And that gets her off the hook.
Yeah.
And it also helps that other person to know, well, I can't talk to her
Yeah.
because she's not gonna gossip about it.
And that's the thing. The more that I've been in God's word, the more I realize I am a gossip, without even trying it. If I could be honest with you, a lot of the times I think I'm helping somebody out by saying a story, and then later on I feel this conviction of I shouldn't have said that. I wouldn't kill a man with a sword, so why would I kill him in front of, behind his back with my own words? And I've had to go and apologize to a lot of people for things that they didn't even know I said, but I just had a lot of conviction, and I couldn't really deal with it much more.
I had a neighbor move in and he was Baha'i faith.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to really get to know everybody around there, and I was out there with the dog in the yard, and he's like, I'll bring my dog over there.
Yeah.
So he's all, hi, how you doing? I'm your new neighbor. And I'm not very outgoing with the neighbors at all.
Yeah.
I've had neighbors across the street, I don't know who they are, but,
Yeah.
but we started making friends, because I'll be friendly to anybody that's friendly to me,
Mm-hmm.
Beggars can't be choosers. But one day I started mouthing off about something. I said, yeah, she did this or something, and he cut me right there, and he said, let's don't talk about people when they're not here. And
Yeah.
that's like, I just double liked him on the spot.
Yeah.
But that, he's, that's not a Christian faith, and, what are we doing to, profess our faith, if, talking about our own mate,
That's it. We're really quick to eat our own, and a lot of people will use justification for gossip. Well, it's true, or I would say it in front of him if he was here, and
No, you wouldn't.
yeah, there you go, Mike. A lot of the time it's like, no, you wouldn't, and sometimes with my friends, some of them I'm sending this video to, I've stopped them from gossiping, and it's like, well, I would say it if they were here, and right, Mike, you're very right. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
I was in a Sunday school class where there was kids, and the teacher was trying to teach us, the youngins, about gossip. So she called one of the kids to the front and said, now turn around. And then she put her hands on their shoulders and she said, I'm gonna bite you on the back. And they just, ooh, ooh. And she made a very good point that that's backbiting, and that's what it is when you're gossiping about somebody else. You're hurting that other person.
That's it.
Yes, I think it made an impression on the youngins.
Yeah. Let's see. Number 11 here. A word fittedly spoken is like apples of gold in the setting of silver. 12 goes on to say, like earrings of gold and an ornament of fine gold is a wise rebuker to an obedient ear. See, the right word at the right time has the power to heal and strengthen people. It has the power to guide and rescue a person who needs rescuing. But a fit word, it can also be a rebuke. That rebuke can be used to guide and rescue. It's the words that heal and strengthen those who receive it. So we've all been there and we've all seen it where we say something that didn't come from us. It really did come from the Holy Spirit because it convicts that person's life. And I'm not a very smart man. Most people would actually say I'm unintelligent. I had terrible reading issues and I'm very, very dyslexic, but I have seen where I have said words of encouragement that hit a person just right, that you knew it was from God. But sometimes I have in my life where a lot of people come and they want me to just justify them. They want me to just justify their issues. And a lot of the times I want that too. I want to tell somebody what my issue is. And I don't really want an answer of,
You want your ears?
I want it to feel good. And sometimes it is a rebuke, it is a rebuke. It is saying,
Eric, I got stopped by a dyslexic cop one time.
yeah,
He gave me an IUD.
an IUD. Well, I know there's hope for me, Mike.
But God can take something wrong and turn it around and make it right.
That's it. He can. And
He
he,
uses all things to his will and good.
what's up, buddy? No, thank you. I appreciate it. You want to go help me with that puzzle over there? Go see if you can find all the pieces with the flat side. Thank you.
The edge pieces.
Side. Let's see. Like the cold of snow in the time of harvest is a faithful messenger to those who send him. For he refreshes the soul of his masters. Whoever falsely boasts of giving is like clouds and wind without rain.
Pretty empty.
Pretty empty, that's it. There's a lot of people out there, then they want to be known for giving. They want to be known for their charity and all of their generosity. But at the end of the day, they're not really giving anything, And these verses 13 through 14, they're showing us what those people are like. They're like looking out at the sky, looking out at all the clouds, and you think that this abundance of rain is going to come and reap a great harvest on the ground, and nothing happens, and we're all disappointed. There's a lot of people like that, and quite frankly, there's a lot of churches that are like that as well. I've grown up in a lot of those churches where they always wanted to show how much they give. They wanted to show what they do and all the things that they were donating to and towards. But at the end of the day, they owned all of the donations. They owned all of the charities. And the money was actually called just the rainy day fund.
And the spirits look like the Bonneville salt flats.
Yeah. And and it looks great. We see the clouds and we're waiting for the rain, but it doesn't come. And that's why when we give, we should give in secret, and we should give our first fruits, but we should give with a cheerful heart and not for the glory of men, because if you're giving for the glory of men, you've already won your reward. You've already done it. But our Father in heaven, what is done in secret, what's done in a secret place, He will reward you for it.
That's what Jesus said about the Pharisees that made the long prayers. He said they've already got their
You already won it. You got your reward out here praying where everyone can see you with all of your gold and all your fancy rocks and everything else. And you've already won your reward.
Yeah, we're supposed to pray, go in prayer and in secret.
Yeah.
And also to You give in secret.
And I'm not saying, I don't think it's saying that, you know, if you give in public, because there's some times that I'm with people and I'm like, I just feel that I need to help this person, or I don't think that God's saying that, but it's just where our hearts are, you know?
It's like the poor woman that only gave a tenth,
Mm-hmm,
and the other guys, we gave all of this. and
Yeah.
Say she gave more. you know,
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you?
She gave all she had.
Yeah.
That's it,
Said
you know?
She did, she gave it.
and that's it. God sees that in our hearts. He sees what we give, and it's crazy what he can do with it too, what little we can give. I sometimes get discouraged because I don't have a lot of money and I can't give a whole lot besides time. But I've also seen what little I've given and God's hands be multiplied. Oh yeah, he's the guy that can feed
Yeah.
thousands with a couple
Yes.
loaves of fish and bread.
And
Well,
sometimes
I can
time's worth
take care
more
of
money.
10% of his money better than I can take 90% of mine.
Yeah, it's very, it's very true.
What do the edge pieces look like?
They're flat. See how this edge is flat? It might have other pieces that are kind of like crazy, but the edge is flat. It's gonna make a border.
Do you want help?
Want some help?
Yes.
All right. Let's see, where were we? 13 and 14 there. Yep.
15.
15. All right. By long forbearance, there you go, thank you. A ruler is persuaded, and a gentle tongue breaks a bone. Have you found any honey? Eat only as much as you need, lest you be filled with it and vomit. Has anybody got any key side on that one?
That we can all eat too much of something to the point of making ourselves sick. We indulge in things that we should not indulge in that are not good for us.
That's it. Would you like to go eat the rest of that pizza until you indulge for the class to like give a representation?
It's funny that honey is vomit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's bee vomit.
Bee vomit, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That way, Rhea.
I never thought about it.
Everything in moderation.
My dad
That's
used to
it.
eat bees, so he
God-
informed us.
You know, God made the heaven and the earth. He made everything in it. And I believe that he truly made it to be enjoyed, because I mean, he says that he is the one that brings pleasure, the ones that bring this, but it's in the moderation.
And it says all creation does something that declares his glory.
Yeah, that you know, and that's it. And if we eat too much of it, if we take too much of one thing, it's gonna make us sick. And it's not just physically sick, but it can make us spiritually sick as well.
And I don't know about you guys, but whenever I bought stuff for myself in about 2 weeks, the feeling wears off. But if I did something for somebody else, it seemed like I always have that good memory and never faded off.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Selfishness is very deceptive.
That's it. I've bought a lot of new guns and a lot of new Harley parts that I can't wait till it comes in the mail. It's coming. Oh man, I'm so excited. And 2 weeks later, I need another one. And the excitement's gone off that.
How would you interpret the number 15?
Number 15 here. So I'm not gonna lie on that one. I don't know,
Forbearance
Belize.
means long suffering.
Yeah.
Putting up with something for a while, you know.
See, and I see the second part of the gentle tongue breaks bones kind of as, you know, feeding, later on here it says that, you know, to feed your enemies and to love them, and that heaps coals on their head. And I could be wrong, but that's kind of how I was taking that, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Let's see, number
17.
17. Seldom set foot in the neighbor's house, lest he becomes wary of you and hates you.
I have one more thing to say about 15.
Yep.
Because there was somebody that's having trouble with their worker lately. And by long forbearance, a ruler is persuaded. If you're doing a job for somebody and they tell you stuff you don't like, and you just spit out, I don't like that,
Yeah.
that ruler's not gonna be happy with you.
That's
But
it.
if you just realize who's above who and you submit to that, by doing that, even though you didn't like that thing, that ruler's gonna start favoring you.
Yeah.
I was complaining one time when I worked at Diamond Fruit about a piece of machinery,
Yeah.
and I told the guy that the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah.
And he told me that sometimes the squeaky wheel gets replaced.
That's it.
All right. Number 17. Seldom set foot in your house, in your neighbor's house, lest he become weary of you and hate you. Y'all, it's just, don't abuse hospitality. That's something that people in Kansas would really like 17, because I don't think we're Southern hospitality. We're like Midwest hospitality, but they're about the same. You know, wipe your feet before you come in the door, knock before entering. Don't take the last soda out
In Kansas,
of the fridge. What?
that's where, in Kansas it's like that?
Oh yeah, it's
So knock before you come in, that sounds like the Northwest.
yeah, it is. You know, it
It
is.
doesn't sound like Southern.
Yeah, we should all appreciate hospitality and we should be grateful for it, but we shouldn't abuse it.
I think Southern people hang out together for longer periods of time than we do. Like he was talking about how they'd spend a whole day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Tell about that.
Yeah, I would like as a kid growing up, we had nothing to do, and we were probably a third of the size of Parkdale. You know, if you just imagine not having Hood River, not having Cascade Locks, not having the Dalles, everything's completely flat. What? Lyle. Yeah, not having. Yeah. But what we did have is we had a Sonic about 45 miles away, and we would all drive to Sonic, and instead of just eating lunch there, like I was telling Rick, we'd spend the whole day. We'd start calling all of our buddies, and we'd have all of the trucks completely lined up, and we'd have all of our friends and girls in the back of the trucks, and we'd be there from breakfast, lunch, dinner, hit the ball game afterwards, you know, and everything was very tight, and it was very, very close. But the hospitality came a long ways, because I have a lot of friends that would let me use any tool I needed and I could walk into their house. But if I stopped putting things back or started keeping things, you know, even by accident, they start to resent me. My brother will never let me use his trailer again, and it's because I treated it like absolute dog crap. I didn't care that much, you know, and
If you want to borrow a tool, it's really hard from a Harley mechanic.
Anybody else have anything on that one? All right.
I think we should be a little bit more neighborly than we are in the Pacific Northwest. That's
Yeah,
I mean, you don't have to be setting foot in your neighbor's house every dang day, and stay there, but, I think we need to be more.
People get lonely.
yeah,
Sometimes we don't realize how lonely somebody gets, or, you know, I have security lights at my place, and we didn't realize it. We had a couple of trees fall in this bad storm, and one of them caused significant damage to us, and the neighbor came over and we were talking about it, and they're gonna come back and take 2 more dangerous trees. But, you know, we were talking, and it was mentioned that, yeah, that security light's kind of annoying. It shines right in my bedroom. I can't have my windows open. So as soon as he said that, and we knew, it's like, we got up there, and we just slapped a piece of tape on that side of the light so it didn't shine over there. And the next day, he sent us a message and said, thank you. And we said, well, you know, we wish you would have maybe said something sooner. I mean, we don't need to light up the whole neighborhood, we just, you know, like to have a little bit of a light out there.
So,
I came out to the Northwest and I had the more Southern hospitality of knowing all of my neighbors. And when I came out here, I was really addicted to not knowing my neighbors. I was really okay with it. I mean, I've invited them to church now, but it took me a year and a half of living there to ever even figure out what their names were, you know? I just kind of knew them as the neighbors, and I didn't talk to them. I didn't wave to them, and it's something that I've been working on myself. And they're good people, you know. They really are. They struggle just like everyone else, but they're good people, and they've treated me with nothing but kindness, and I've treated them by not answering the door all the times. I get the knock on the door, want to bring me brownies and cookies, and I just got screaming kids and everything else, and I just pretend like I don't hear, and
Couldn't hear them over the kids.
couldn't hear them over the kids. I mean, that was
Only
a
time
while
I talked to
ago,
my neighbors
but
across the streets when I knocked on their door and said your dog got hit by a car.
yeah.
So,
It was my car.
Well, maybe Greg, you could go take them some brownies and let them like not hear you because of the kids.
Have to remember the jingle from the insurance company, like a good neighbor, stay over there.
come on now, Mike.
Oh, Mike, I feel you a lot of times. I really do.
I don't know the passage, but it, it calls us to be just good stewards to our own animals that we have.
Yeah.
And I believe that applies to our neighbors
Yeah.
and everyone else that's around us. And,
They do kind of party like animals on certain times of the year.
I just start to realize that it's not that I have something against my neighbors, and just in the moment, I'm so stuck on whatever my own issue is that I can't be bothered. I don't want to be bothered. I have to fix whatever I'm doing now, and I don't have time to do this. But then I've realized when I do just look up, and I am just thankful, and I'm happy. I'm happy that people come and check in on me.
Yeah, Jesus
It's-
didn't make those two commandments, love God and love God.
Yeah, very well point. But
Love your neighbor.
It's a
Yeah,
gift,
yeah,
it's a
gotta remember
gift to
that.
other people to show kindness.
yeah,
And that you actually are interested in them. It's a gift from God
that's it.
to other people. And I think we need to be more aware of it.
Yeah.
I was raised by a Southerner.
Yeah.
One time my mom and dad have passed away, but they used to fix lunch. And my mom hates cooking, hates cooking. And she would cook lunch for about 30 kids every single lunch hour from the school. And they had to get special permission to even come over.
Yeah, they have a
They
special
were
grade point
the
every.
house next to the high school. And so they had to get a 3.2 or something.
Oh, wow.
To be able to get off campus and go to mom and dad's for lunch. But, through that, she and my dad were able to reach lots of kids.
Yeah.
I bet.
And listen to their, it's hard to be a kid.
Yeah.
And listen to their stories. And that's the kind of role model that I had, and I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
Delise and I really like when somebody drops by, but that doesn't happen very often, Kaylee.
I know. But Phil came by twice,
Yeah.
3 times.
It is hard being a kid. I still experience that.
Yeah.
We feel for you.
We feel for Sonny too,
That would raise the kid.
Number 18. A man who bears false witness against his neighbor is like a club, a sword, or a sharp arrow. I mean, that goes back into what you were saying about, about gossip, that we do. We don't realize what the power of our words really, really are. I mean, we think that, we just said this and maybe we didn't mean it, but we can't take back what we say. The things that come out of our mouth are like daggers. They're like swords. And I've cut people deep, and I've cut people deep that I love. And it's very, very true. And it's helped me watch what I say before I say it. It's helped teach me to be meek and not always have to be right. I'm not saying that I am meek, but I'm saying I'm working on being meeker, because some things that I've said, even just joking around, just as friends, I didn't realize was such a sensitive subject. And, you know, they didn't show it to me then, but they went home and told everyone else about how big of a bully I was and how I ruined their life. And it happens. 19. Confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a bad tooth and a foot out of joint. Like one who takes away the garment in the cold weather is like vinegar on soda, is one who sings songs to a heavy heart. Anybody got any insight on those ones? 19 and 20?
Sometimes our confidence can blind us to the truth that we just don't want to see. And I'm guilty.
Yeah.
Everybody heard me talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, confidence in an unfaithful man is in the time of trouble like that too, or foot out of joint.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
When people that we love let us down, it hurts more than when strangers do.
yeah. No, that's a very, very good point. And what about when time of crisis comes? Who are we seeking? Who are we trying to find their opinion? Because a lot of times, you know, with the world today, it's just we'll see our favorite influencers and our favorite TV and everything else, and most of them, y'all, are just reading off a script. They're all just reading the same agenda that anyone else is reading, and if we put our faith in them, you know, we're not going to go anywhere. It's going to be like a bad tooth. It is. But if we put our faith in Jesus, you know, we can't fail. And then right underneath that one, number 20, like the one who takes away a garment in cold weather and like vinegar on soda is the one who sings songs to a heavy heart. What I had on that one is the one who treats a heavy heart without sensitivity. The one that does that, he brings discomfort and irritation, not only to that person's heart, but to the person as a whole. And that we need to be sensitive and we need to be gentle when dealing with people and there's issues, because there's a difference between being right and being sensitive on the subject. Maybe we've grown past so much farther on something that someone's struggling with that we tend to forget what it was like when we were in those struggles. That if you ask my wife, I am not known as the happy-go-lucky Jesus guy. Like, she told me I'm more of the savage Jesus guy, and she told me, I've heard it from a few other people that I need to be more sensitive, and it's because I've sometimes moved past little things in my life that I used to be really sensitive to, and now I don't see it as such a big deal. I'm like, just quit doing that, just stop it, just be done with it. But then I have to go back to my own heart to realize, like, when I was in that place, that those words would just cut me. That's not going to bring me healing, and that's not what Jesus would have came and done. He would have done it gently. He wouldn't have took my clothes off in the cold weather, But that's just the insight that I had on that one.
Nice.
Verse 21, if your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he is thirsty, give him water to drink. 22 goes on to say, for so you will heap coals of fire on his head, and the Lord will reward you. Y'all, that sounds like a rough statement. We're going to put some coals on our enemy's head and we're going to be rewarded from it? What does that mean? Like, how does that happen?
At some point, they start thinking that they start feeling guilty because they start to see
Bingo.
how they've been treating you,
Yeah.
and you're not returning it, so where's it coming from? It's really obvious.
That's it. We need to love our, sorry, go ahead.
21, 22.
Yeah, I did 21 through 22. Like I asked, how will it put burning coals on their head? You know, a lot of people say that the burning coals in this verse here could mean a lot of things, and this is just my own opinion on it. But my own opinion is that it throws conviction on their life. That you know, a lot of people expect evil to be returned with evil. When people are angry and they're evil and they're mean, that's what they're expecting in return.
And that's exactly what Satan wants you to do.
And that's it. They want you to repay evil with evil. See, y'all, the book of Satan doesn't say hate everybody. I've read it, and it says love those that love you and hate those that hate you. And Jesus is one of the only people that say love your enemies. Love the ones that persecute you.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
This time.
Leviticus chapter 16
Yeah.
says, we are told in Proverbs 25, if your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat. If he's thirsty, give him water to drink. For so you will heap coals of fire on his head, and the Lord will reward you. This shouldn't be interpreted as paying someone back with a good deed so we can keep condemnation on him. The high priest would fill his censer on the Day of Atonement with coals of fire from the altar of burnt offering, and then put incense on the coals to create a sweet smelling fragrance. The cloud of smoke of the incense would then cover the mercy seat and was acceptable to God.
Covering.
Perfect. Yeah.
Nice.
Perfect. Nothing else to say on that one, you know. Let's see. Verse 23. The north wind brings forth rain, and the backbiting tongue an angry countenance. Thank you.
That means the look on the face.
The backbiting.
The backbiting, yeah.
Right.
It is, ladies. It is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than in the house shared with a continuous woman.
Contentious.
Contentious, thank you.
Quarrelsome.
Quarrelsome.
23?
My book, brawling.
I said it, I was gonna go back over 23. What do y'all think on number 23? The north wind brings forth rain, and the backbiting tongue, an angry, yeah.
That's weird, because
King James says, the north wind driveth away rain, so doeth an angry countenance, a backbiting tongue.
Yeah, that's the,
that's interesting, because
King
I was
James?
just telling him,
North.
don't we usually get a south wind when it means it's coming from the south, right? Or does it mean it's blowing south? Which way is it? When they say a north wind, does it mean it's blowing towards the north?
Or it's coming from the north.
From the
Because when
north?
we get the
So that
southern, like the El Nino and stuff, and
seems kind of backwards to me, because this is usually our bad weather. Well, a lot of times it comes down through the gorge,
From the
but it seemed like I only see clouds like from Bend coming this way when we get it.
I see the clouds coming from over those mountains down there.
Yeah, that's east and west.
Hmm.
Because the gorge is funneling the wind that way.
Yeah, if ever there's a storm over there, it passes right over my house.
Right over your house.
yeah, number,
An angry countenance, backbiting.
that's it. I don't know much on that one, to be honest, guys. But the only thing I'll say on number 24, I'll try and be really real easy on that one, is
You chicken.
Chicken. Y'all ladies.
Why do you think that Mike lives in the corner of the woods?
I bet it's a pretty cool corner though, Mike. I bet he's got it pretty set up pretty nice up there.
Kind of your man cave.
Yeah. Women have a lot more power in the house than they ever think that they do. How I've seen it through here, through the Bible, is that the house is a ship and women are the sails. Women of the house, they're going to be the power to move the ship. And a lot of people might not think that way, but that's the way I've seen it, is they have the power to move the ship. And it's a man's job to rudder the ship. So a wife can really run the ship in the right direction, or they can run it straight into you can run it straight into the ground. If we look at Adam and Eve in Genesis, I didn't see anywhere there that says that Adam was deceived. After that, I saw that the woman was deceived, but Adam loved his wife so much he couldn't imagine not living without her, And I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong on that, but
I think they're both deceived.
yeah.
Well,
it says Adam wasn't.
I think it's in 2 Timothy that I saw that, 1st or 2 Timothy, and I'll
That's what gets me is God told Adam,
yeah,
don't eat of this tree.
yeah,
And
Straight from
he
the mouth
said,
of
but
God.
the wife, that you gave me,
yeah.
she.
Self-justified.
There's
Yeah,
the oldest
self-justified.
excuse in the world is, well, she made me.
yeah. Well, I mean,
What I think about in there is God made Adam first, and then he saw it's not good for man to be alone. So he made a beautiful, wondrous woman, right? But he called her his helper. And man can get sidetracked thinking this way and that way, and I sure know because I go like this all the time.
yeah,
But a woman's words, the word is alive and active and sharper than a double-edged sword. She can say things that lift him up and build him, like the
That's
helper
it.
that he intended her to be. Or she can look at him and pick at every little fault he has,
yeah.
and that's just gonna make him crumble down. He'll
That's
end
it.
up hearing it and hearing it and hearing it. If you lie to somebody long enough, they'll believe it.
That's it.
That's
So-
stupid.
Well, look at us. Men are kind of stupid. We get a little stupid. If you
And
I was gonna bring it up, and I was like, no, they're not.
there's a common trait I've seen with great men in the Bible, and I mean, there's also one sin that God says not to try and withstand ourselves, to run from, and that's lust. I mean, if you look at David failed because of Bathsheba, not because of Bathsheba, it's his own heart, but he sees something that he wants. As a woman, you look at,
Satan knew his weak spot.
why can't I think of his name? He's one of my favorites. What's our long hair guy? Our powers in his hair. Samson. There we go. I was getting Solomon and Samson mixed up, but I mean, look at what he did with a jawbone. Like yeah. But what did he fail to? He failed to a woman. He failed to his own desires and his own lusts and putting it over what God says.
Well,
And
you gotta look at where the society has gone in the last few hundred
yeah,
years.
we can't even define what a woman is.
Man cave, but a woman has a kitchen.
I'm not commenting on that. All right, I'm moving on before I get in trouble on there.
Can I say something?
Yeah, of course.
We can go another direction on sink list.
How I was raised.
Yeah.
Was that God had a plan, and it was God, a godly man,
Mhm.
a husband, a godly wife, and then the children.
Yeah.
And if the woman speaking, and this is how I was taught, a
Yeah.
contentious woman is that woman who's trying to get out of line, out from under the umbrella that God set up. And if she's got a godly husband, he's going to be leading that household correctly. And then to add on, like what you said, the lady can run everything and make it go smooth, but there's always the captain of the ship. And that's how I was taught.
Yeah.
And I taught my sons, I taught them to not give their not give everything to, I don't know, it's not like everything, but be careful what you give to a woman, because women can be deceitful.
Yeah.
And that's how I was taught.
Yeah.
And I wanted to teach my sons that. And I also wanted to teach them what they're supposed to do as a godly man. They both have not done that all of their life, but
Yeah.
they're on track in doing, and they're not always perfect, but I thank God for how he had my parents raise me, and I hope that how I raise my sons will have an impact on their families.
Yeah.
It's true, women can be
Amen.
deceitful, but it's not just women can be deceitful.
No,
Because the
it's
Bible
men.
tells us our heart is
Yeah,
desperately wicked, who can know it? And the man can stray off because of his wicked heart, and she can come alongside him
Right.
and guide him back where he's supposed to be.
That's very true. Yeah.
My wife is the least deceitful person you'll ever meet.
and I don't mean to
Can I
say
go
that
home with you now?
deceitful, that's not.
Sorry, what was
I
that?
don't mean to project that all women are deceitful
Oh,
or bad
yeah.
or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
No.
plenty of godly women
I don't
out
know
there.
who said it, and I don't think that it's in the Bible, but there was a famous man who said, give a woman a house and she'll make a home.
Yeah.
Give her food and she will make a meal.
Meal. Yeah.
And so, you know, there
Yeah,
are certain
she'll
things
make
that
a baby.
that a woman is supposed to do, and a man is supposed to do in a relationship.
And have you seen that today? That our youth, I mean, people that are smaller than me, they don't see that. It's changing. Like they're trying to change that. And if you've looked since 2023, I like statistics a lot. I think it's 2023 divorce rates up 75% just since then. Yeah, I mean, almost every person I know that's my good friends, you know, a lot of my good friends, they're all married. We're all married, and that's the one thing we all have in common is just trying to stay married. It seems like the hardest thing to do right now because there is so much dispute between it of what with me now at least is I do want to follow what God has for me in my life, and sometimes that doesn't always go with what wants to be done in my house, you know, and I don't know. Let's see. Where's the one about men, their issues, you know? Let's get on that. Number
25?
Number 25. As cold water to a weary soul, so is the good news from a far country. Y'all, all I really have on 25 is that this good news, the good news of the gospel and of what Jesus has done for me, it's restored me.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not anymore, but I was a very broken person. I was a correctional officer for about 3.5, 4 years, and I was an extreme alcoholic, and I was, besides all of those issues, you know, I was a very just angry person, and no one would see that in me. People would see me as a funny, happy-go-lucky guy because that's what I portrayed. But to be honest, I liked working at the prison. I liked always constantly having all of these issues and all of this drama and all of the riots and all of the things because it made my house seem normal, you know, when I went back and it was just bickering and fighting and this and that, and it was all kind of just a mess. But God really, with his good news, he restored me, and I'm not the same person whatsoever than I was before, hearing the gospel and then letting it actually, you know, take hold in my heart and receiving it. That's all I had on that one, though.
No, man.
Yes.
Righteous man falling down.
A righteous man who, what did yours say? Who
Mine
fall?
says, a righteous man falling down before the wicked is as a troubled fountain in a corrupt spring.
Yeah. Yours reads easier than mine, especially for a dyslexia
Like
guy.
the righteous man who falters before the wicked is like a murky spring and a polluted well.
That's what mine says.
You know,
What's the versions of each Bible? Mine's King James.
I've got,
New King James.
yeah, I think mine's New King James.
Then there's the Revised
there's a standard, New American Standard and a Revised Standard.
Mine's NIV.
NIV.
And I have an Ethiopian.
I guess I got
Bible
one
word,
here.
so I'll bring that and just stir it in the
Stir it.
spokes.
So
No.
all I really have on 26 is, righteous men or women. It says men, but righteous men or women, we all fail. We all fall sometimes. But compromising our life is like a dirty pool. If we just fall and we don't get back up and we just stick with it, it's like a dirty pool. And we're called to live. We're called to live a set apart life.
Ambassadors.
Yeah. Disciples, ambassadors. I mean,
And they're watching.
Especially in my first steps of following Christ, I have definitely fallen back, and I still fall even this day because we have this thing that's attached to us called the flesh, and it's a constant battle between our soul and our flesh. I mean, our soul knows where it wants to go and who is to save it, and our flesh wants, desires. But if I just live in my flesh, it's a dirty pool. It might bring me joy for a while, but there's no compromising for what God has planned for us,
Yep, the flesh is the road to destruction, and God gave these wonderful words to lead us towards the beautiful life and blessings that He had intended for us.
Yeah, that's it. That's what the book of Proverbs is about, Anybody else have anything on 26?
I was thinking, back when I was backslid and stuff, I thought, man, I didn't know the whole Bible, keep your stuff, go to your brother and work it out, lest you go to jail and spend day for day and all that, and I was just like, oh, this pastor tells me I should go turn myself in. I think he knows God better than I do. And I go in there and I start reading the Bible. I'm like, He didn't want me to come in here. I didn't have to do this. I already repented. But it was like Paul. I thought about Paul. He went in there and he was doing time and everything because he was working for the Lord. And I was like, here's me just for this crap, man. How come I couldn't have been like Paul?
Yeah.
So that's what always gets me.
I think too, sometimes, use my job as an, I worked Head Start for years and years and years and years. And I loved it. I loved working with kids. I loved the school. I loved everything. But over the years, the management changed and my coworkers changed.
Yeah.
And then there was backbiting and fighting and drug use.
Yeah.
And people trying to just squeeze you out. And when you're immersed in that, you start absorbing that.
Yeah.
I had panic attacks and had a breakdown. And I finally had to leave the job.
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore. And I started when I was 14.
That's
And so I was all the way through my whole career.
That's how I felt with law enforcement. It was the thing that I knew my entire life, and eventually it wasn't who I was anymore. Going to work just really felt like this isn't me, and I couldn't do it. I tried to be a police officer for a year after working in corrections, and I just couldn't do it. It was no longer me. And
that's maybe a blessing come from God to get you out of that. Because I have a friend that retired as whatever you call it.
Correctional officer.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I got that too sometimes.
Yeah.
but he's doing as good. He's a real nice guy, but a lot of bitterness he had to fight, and he just
hard.
carries it with him. Even though he let it go, I mean, it's still got some flaws in there a little bit. And
Yeah.
being around filthiness all the time, it
Just rub off.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
gonna rub
You can
off.
have the best attitude in the world, but if everything around you just everything's bad, everything's bad.
Constantly, and
Yeah,
just like-
brainwash you.
Yeah.
I worked at the prison I worked out of, it was a mental health prison. So you had to have 2 counts of murder to go there outside of a different prison, and a lifetime of mental health issues. It was all,
That would be big plus.
yeah, there wasn't much general population. It was all segregated, like everybody was locked in their own, but we expected it from the inmates, but it was the officers. It was the officers that would really tear you down because all we did was, I mean, the divorce rate was over like 80%. I mean, most people only lived 2 years past retirement, and then they had to die of a heart attack or some
Yeah.
kind of stress-related implements. And I remember, I mean, I had to go get my blood pressure checked and all of my stuff checked at 19, 20, and they said like, wow, guy, you're like a 65-year-old man, you know?
Okay, I quit my job.
Yeah, I quit and I was done with it. I'm a lot happier now, you know?
Amen.
So that was 26?
Yeah, we're 27.
27. It is not good to eat much honey. So to seek one's own glory is not glory.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
that's it. Whoever has no rule over their own spirit is like a city broken down without walls.
To seek your own glory is you're trying to put yourself on a pedestal. It's like the world famous actress who was talking to somebody and they finally said, we've been talking about me all this time.
Yeah,
Let's talk about you.
Yeah.
How do you like my movie?
yeah. Hit it perfect. We're done with that. Yeah. That's it, Mike. Yeah, I think Mike just closed us right there. Unless someone else has got something
How
to
do you
say
guys
on
like
that.
sitting at the table?
I do.
I like it a lot better than,
That's a
Feels
lot better.
warmer.
Yeah.
Well, it's lighter. I can barely read in the sanctuary.
Oh, that's
in the
true.
evening. It's like, you barely can see. No,
Well, they're all on, but it's
it's just darker, cause
Well, and I'm older, you know.
I don't know what happened. He had some lights that he was gonna put up on the side and he held